Welcome to our final presentation. We are Group ABC. I'm
ABC.
Lawson. Team ABC. I'm Lawson.
I'm Camden.
I'm Philip.
We're going to give you a good presentation today.
Yeah.
So, first step was to define the pricing between the different locations. We were comparing Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Kansas City. Not Kansas City, St. Louis. The first slide here is Oklahoma versus Texas, so Dallas. And we have Oklahoma. It's really hard to read here, but we got, I think it's $3.3 million was the total approved budget. And if we were to build this 4 years from now in Dallas, using all the different factors for location, size, and time, we split it up into each little subgroup and multiplied each of the factors that were needed to get a total factor, and multiplied the factor by the price for Oklahoma City, and that gave us our Dallas pricing. So we used all three factors for all of them except for project management and procurement. We didn't worry about size. We didn't think size was a big factor in that. But anyways, we got Dallas to be 4.7 million, so quite a bit larger than Oklahoma City. And then if we did Oklahoma and St. Louis, we get the same concept as what we did before, but St. Louis is just a little bit bigger at 3.7 million. So Oklahoma City would have been the cheapest. And here's our, that's easier to read. Here's our totals. 3.3 for Oklahoma City, 4.7 for Dallas, and 3.8 for St. Louis. So Dallas was the most expensive 4 years from now.
Okay, here we go. We've got an activity and node network diagram. It's kind of blurry, but this is everything here. It shows our precedence and all that. We've got a critical path down here. Let me go back one. We've got it all in red over here, marked out there, and that was for project team, design contractors work, and it went through there. So that's basically activity and node. Let's moving on. I think in each bubble you can actually see your total float, early start, late start,
free
all
float.
that. Yeah, that's on there. Okay, a Gantt chart here. This basically just shows how the work is going to be done. Wait, right?
Just a timeline.
Just a timeline for everything. The work is scheduled and all that. It's super blurry, but
we've got the workers allocated to each one next to that. It's really hard to read, but we'll share it with you. So.
Yep, you guys will see it. And here we've got a WBS. This is the way we broke down all the different activities and things. So we have 6 main categories: site work, on-site utilities, maintenance, building A, building B, project management, and procurement. Basically, it's how we want to manage a project, looking at all the different factors that work into it. And yeah, that was basically it. So.
All right. Now we've got the histogram, which is the daily cost over time, with the early start in the blue, late start in the red. As you can tell, early start starts off more expensive, then as you go, it starts to get less expensive, and the late start does the opposite. It starts out really cheap, and then it ends up costing more towards the end. And then here's the total cost versus time, which is just the total of the last slide. And as you can tell, again, early start starts out a little hotter, then ends up a little flatter, whereas the late start starts out flat, then works its way up. But they end up at the same price, they start at the same price, so it's just the difference from the early and the late.
All right, so you want to do this one? Or I got you. Okay. So the resource leveling and Microsoft project, we had to go through and allocate workers to each task work package. And after we did that, we had our original timeline before leveling was 239 days for the whole project, and then in the directions it said don't worry about the duration changing, that'll happen. So we put in all of our workers, allocated them where we needed to be, and then we hit level all on project, and it ended up being 358 days for our whole project duration. So added a little over 100 days to our project after we leveled it. So yeah. And then this last one, we got our earned value analysis. This was done in Excel. We have the whole table over to the side, and this is just a snippet to show you the summary of it all. But we got our SPI to be 0.759, which means it's behind schedule.
Yeah.
And we got our CPI to be greater than 1 at 1.059, which means we're also under budget. So we're behind schedule and under budget. So we're saving money, but we're not where we need to be yet on our timeline. So,
Yeah.
With that, do you guys have any questions? No questions.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. Type in the
Thank you.
comments.
Appreciate it.